Hey guys, I am coming to you live from my backyard on a lovely Saturday, and ever since this whole digital learning thing has started, I know my neighbors think I'm crazy because I'm always sitting out here talking about like AP language concepts and looking at my own phone. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to review with you the parts of argument just before we got started on our week. So the first important part of an argument, and we talked about this in our writers' conferences, is that you have to have a clear, identifiable, arguable claim. The difference between a claim and a thesis statement is that a thesis statement can just be a statement like now I can't think of one, but just, a statement. Clouds are in the sky could be a thesis statement if your whole paper was about clouds being in the sky. But that clouds are in the sky is not a claim because it's not arguable, right? It's just a fact. So that's the big difference. And so we're looking for a claim that clearly stakes a position and an argument. This is an argument class, so you are never going to be in the middle. You're never going to be 50-50. You're never going to say, well, sort of, but not really. You're always going to argue a claim. You're going to pick a side and stake it in a clear, arguable claim. So you have to have a claim. Then you have to have reasons. A lot of times, if you've been writing sort of 5-paragraph essays, you're used to the idea of reasons as your topic sentences. And we can still think like that. Reasons are your topic sentences. You just want to shy away from elementary sort of language like the first reason is, the second reason is. We don't want to do that anymore. We want to get a little bit more advanced than that. So we're going to avoid that sort of language when we come up with our reasons. How many reasons? For most of the things that we do in AP Lang, I would think that 2 to 3 reasons would be what you should do. 2 to 3. And that would make a 4 or 5 paragraph essay. I myself in 40 minutes would probably aim for 2 body paragraphs just because that seems more realistic, but some of you did a great job in that first essay that you wrote, and so you might not need to limit yourself, but 2 basic reasons. And those reasons have to create what we call a line of reasoning. They can't just be random, unrelated reasons. They have to build on one another. So whatever your 2 reasons are, you have to think of a way that they can connect. And you need to put them in an order to where the first one has to happen before the second one. And if you have a third, the first and the second have to happen before the third. So you kind of want to think smallest ideas to biggest ideas. So something like things affecting an individual, a community, and the world is kind of a way to think about it. You want to build, okay? And so the line of reasoning is going to be done through making sure your reasons build and through writing transitions that connect one paragraph to another, more than just also or next. That is not considered a line of reasoning, okay? So you have to build and connect between them. And we'll be practicing this a lot. It's one of the newer concepts, but that's what a line of reasoning is. So you need a claim and you need reasons that are going to be kind of at the beginning of your body paragraphs, but those reasons have to be, like steps where they build on each other, and you need the first one to get to the second one, and you need the second one to get to the third one if you have a third one. And you do that through making sure the ideas build, but also through writing successful transitions. When AP or College Board is looking at line of reasoning, they don't consider it a line of reasoning if you could cut apart your reasons and put them in any order. If your reasons could go in any order, then that is not a line of reasoning. Those are random reasons, and you will be stuck with just earning 2 points on column B. Now, I realize not all of you may plan to take the AP test, and this is still important for good writing for college. You will write argumentative essays, and you do want to start learning how to build paragraphs together. Then you need evidence. We used some evidence from some videos last week. The assignment you're doing this week, you get to invent or fabricate or make up all your evidence, which is kind of fun. But we used some evidence. And evidence, guys, can be firsthand, it can be secondhand, but it must be specific. And it must directly support your reason. And that reason has to directly support the claim, right? So it's got to be like that. And then once you've given your evidence, you have to give commentary. Having your writers' conferences was really helpful to me because it made me realize that a lot of you don't really understand what I mean by commentary. Commentary is actually the easiest part. It's your own words that connect whatever example you gave back to the reason and thus back to the claim. So it's the part where you you say something like, exploring the unknown is essential for personal identity, right? And then you give a personal example, and then you give an example from a book, and then in your own words, you tie those examples back to personal identity, and you tie them back to, yes, you should explore the unknown. So that's kind of how it would look with what we just wrote. So commentary is literally your own words where you do the thinking on paper so that your reader doesn't have to do it for you. You don't want to make them try to understand how your evidence connects. It'd be great if they did realize exactly what you were thinking, but you need to actually spell it out for them. So that's commentary. And then we've also talked just a little bit about counter-argument. I mean, we're going to talk more about that, but the thing is that a counter-argument is absolutely an essential part of any good academic argument. We have to remember that in this class, we're not trying to win, we're not trying to dominate, we're not trying to embarrass the other side. We're trying to gain understanding. That is what an academic argument is. So all of these parts that we've talked about, claim, reasons, line of reasoning, evidence, and counter-argument, are all part of what you need to create a successful argument. You're building it. You remember how last week you built a monster? This is how you build an argument. Writing, all of the writing is just like building that monster. You have your eureka, it's alive moment where you've created something. And in AP Language, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the ingredients, the components, the building blocks, the toolbox, whatever your metaphor is, the monster body parts that you have to use to click things together to make them right. And to click things together to make an argument right, it is absolutely essential that you have a claim, you have reasons that are constructed into a line of reasoning, that you have specific evidence to support those reasons, that you provide commentary that explains how the evidence supports the reasons and how the reasons support the claim, and that you give an acknowledgement of the counter argument, that you mention that there's another side, and then you acknowledge that those people have, you don't have to consider the argument good, but that they have a true opinion, that the other side of an argument, that they aren't placed on earth just to irritate you, that they legitimately believe the things that they believe, and that you've given some time to think about why they think what they think. So hope this is a good recap of argument for you. As always, guys, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to send me an email or send me a remind message and let me know that you need help, and I'll be more than happy to. Yeah, that's what I meant. Have a good one.